Hello, Wastelanders! We have returned to the Commonwealth of Fallout 4 after having beat Survival Mode as a demon to beat Survival Mode as an angel. And because this is Fallout, we have become an angel of Todd. So let's get to it. First, the challenge. We have to play on survival mode. We also won't use console commands except to fix bugs or use camera effects. We limit mod uses to aesthetics, character creation, or equipment for the sake of the theme, or mods that otherwise fit the theme of the playthrough. We can't use the devil's chems or alcohol. Healing items and sacramental wine are okay. We can't use Mama Murphy's blasphemous visions, stolen items, or lies in dialogue. We have to keep our word, and when settlers ask for help, we have to help them. And remember that this is supposed to be fun, so we're not taking any of it too seriously.
And that is where our game starts. On a beautiful Saturday morning, with the threat of nuclear war looming.
Since we played Nora in our Demon Challenge, she's going to be benched by Kellogg this time around, and we'll be playing as the upstanding husband. In the Bethesda universe, closer to God is closer to Todd, so we're joining our local chess club and using the God Howard Looks menu preset by Dom Philbrook to create Player Todd. Veteran, Robco Fun programmer, and loving family man. Nora and Todd start their Saturday basking in a mid-century inspired middle-class dreamland of homogeneity, modern convenience, commie-hating, and prohibitively high cost of living expenses. Soon, a knock on the door assures them that when the Book of Revelations comes true any minute now, they'll be among the chosen to be raptured up by Vault-Tec.
Good morning! Vault-Tec calling.
Todd's starting stats are 1 strength because a strong faith is all we need, 1 perception and agility because God reveals everything in his own time, 4 endurance because even Job couldn't endure the sufferfest we're about to partake in, 7 charisma, intelligence, and luck because as pastor of the Bethesda megachurch, Todd is a smooth operator, and those numbers are what our Discord channel members suggested.
Congratulations on being prepared for the future.
We barely have time to give thanks before the air raid warning trumpets sound as the 7th seal of intercontinental ballistic war is unrolled on a blameless and God-fearing America. The world may be ending, but Todd and Nora, God bless her for loving a man who plays and designs video games all day, have peace that passes understanding. Never doubting for an instant that a just God will provide, they calmly proceed to Vault 111.
Oh my god.
We need to get to the vault. Now!
I've got Sean. Let's go.
The last shall be first, and as the last to sign up for the vault, it's pretty clear that we should be the first to get in. But loving thy neighbor, we are gentle when we push the other residents out of the way.
Okay, go ahead.
Thank you.
Good luck, ma'am.
You two, follow me.
God help
Come
us all.
on.
What's gonna happen to all those people outside the
We're doing
gate?
everything we can. Now keep moving.
It's sweet of you to worry about those folks who aren't in heteronormative single-race nuclear families, Nora, but a just God will take care of them. Consider the lilies of the field and all that.
We love you too.
Oh my God! Hold on! Can't this thing move faster? Oh God! Oh God! Oh God!
In the vault, we're able to relax, secure in the knowledge that Jesus has taken the wheel.
Time for a whole new life.
They say that Todd only puts as much hardship in your path as you can bear, but what came next was pretty dark.
I'm not giving you Sean!
For Todd so loved the world, that he gave our only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in finding him shall not perish, but have everlasting playthroughs. Sean 3:16. We wake up like Lazarus in his tomb, and we make our first promise.
I'll find who did this, and I'll get Sean back. I promise.
We are reacquainted with survival mode's hunger, thirst, and exhaustion as we make our way to the vault entrance. And as we exit, clad in the holy robes of Vault-Tec, we pray to Todd for the one thing we want most, swift vengeance. For Isaiah 51:5 promises that my righteousness draws near speedily, my salvation is on the way, and my arm will bring justice to the nations. The only problem? The wasteland has its own golden rule.
Oh, what's that?
Thou shalt get sidetracked by bullshit every goddamn time.
And as you know, dear viewers, when playing Fallout 4, it's good to remember Proverbs 20:22. Do not say, I'll pay you back for this wrong. Wait for the Howard, and he will avenge you. We talked to Codsworth, our loyal and remarkably durable robot who approximates having a soul better than most of the people we encounter.
As I live and breathe.
Exploring Sanctuary, we discover a key item for the playthrough, a very, very pink Bible, courtesy of the Holy Bible mod by Vardens. This mod puts a Bible in your aid inventory that, when accessed, allows us to choose 3 temporary perks. Quiet Reflection for extra XP, Sacred Healing for increased healing rate, particularly useful in survival, and Respite for increased AP recovery. And now that we're a proverb-packing preacher of the people, they'll be able to see it when we put on the pastor's vestments that we also found here in the cellar, because the best armor is the armor of God. And my Todd shall supply every need of yours. Philippians 4:19, which is sort of true after we spend most of our first day stripping Sanctuary for resources like colonial European missionaries, resources for weapons and armor crafting that we have faith we will do once the Lord has seen fit to grant us more than a 10mm and a security baton. And as we doggedly labor through survival mode's immersive hunger, thirst, and exhaustion, we are encouraged by Psalm 90:17. Let the favor of the Lord our God be upon us and establish the work of our hands upon us. Yes, establish the work of our hands. Comforting words. Redundant, but comforting words are worth repeating.
All of this just works. And again, it just works.
Let us take comfort in the word of Todd, for the word of Todd is all we need. The word of Todd and a companion to watch our backs.
You want to come with me, pal?
The word of Todd, a companion, and this security baton, because, as we all know, spare the rod, spoil the raider. In the name of Todd, I declare this place has been cleansed. But if we want to earn our wings, we'll need to wipe out some major evil. Fortunately, the Commonwealth is full of wrongs to right.
Last time those raiders hit us, my daughter Mary tried to stand up to them. Now she's buried out back of the house.
I'll see what I can do.
Good.
Well, rules are rules, we have to help, and it's all part of Todd's plan. A plan that involves going to the robotics disposal yard and setting the SentryBot prototype loose on the raiders at Satellite Station Olivia. And our Howard and Savior provides, leaving us a partial suit of T-45 power armor here to protect us on our righteous quest to clear the evil farm girl murdering raiders from the satellite station. Verily I say unto you, this pit of vipers has been cleansed. After exorcising the raiders, we help ourselves to a few classified secrets in the intel room. And before you object, if the Vatican can do it, so can we. Nice. And while we are on the subject of rewards, we bring glory to Todd with our level 4 perk pick of Hacker, naturally. Returning to Abernathy Farm, young Lucy Abernathy confesses that she needs help with her melons, and because Psalm 90:17 commands us to establish the work of our hands, we offer to handle them for her.
Sure. I got time to help out.
Great. Doesn't have to be now, but whenever you get the time.
When settlers ask for help, we have to help.
Seems to be growing well.
What did you think we were talking about? Over at Wicked Fleet Shipping, we discover a Cain and Abel story that played out a little more tragically, and we nab our second Grognak comic. Investigating Concord, we find it full of the wicked, and it seems like a good time to meditate on some scripture. We pray that the Howard will grant us bountiful action points in the battle to come, and we begin routing the enemies of heaven.
Hey, up here, on the balcony. I've got a group of settlers inside. The raiders are almost through the door. Grab that laser musket and help us, please!
But your timing's impeccable.
Impeccable, Preston? Try immaculate. We learn from Brother Garvey that he and Sturgis have a plan to clear Concord of the evildoers outside.
Let's hear it.
Sturgis, tell him.
Sturgis lays out a scheme to bring Old Testament pre-war judgment down upon the sinners outside, involving power armor and a minigun. And since, brothers and sisters, we must help the innocent, we agree.
Yeah, I thought you might.
As we head to the roof to set about doing the Howard's work, we encounter a threat amongst the sheep of Garvey's flock. She seems a harmless old woman at first, but then she mentions supernatural visions.
I saw it.
Get thee behind we, Satan!
Oh boy, that's it. I'm out of here.
After we narrowly escaped the old witch's grasp, we jump-started the T-45 with the fusion core we had skillfully hacked the security gate to get, and suited up to cleanse Concord of wickedness. And then the devil revealed himself. This place has been... Oh my Todd, dog meat. We're coming, buddy. We're coming, buddy. Hold on. Here we come, pal. Where were we? Oh yeah, Clans, duh.
That was a pretty amazing display. I'm just glad you're on our side.
It's all part of the service, Preston.
You're welcome. Anytime.
Well, since you say that, maybe you'll come to Sanctuary with us. We could use your help getting settled there.
If this guy keeps asking for help, we'll never find Sean.
All right, Garvey. I'm in.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And now there's this old witch to
But
deal
there's
with.
more to your destiny, isn't there? The great green jewel of the Commonwealth, Diamond City.
Don't give me that destiny crap.
Back in Sanctuary, we exit our power armor to find that the Lord has seen our good works and granted us a sign that we are his chosen servant. And you can have a pair of signs like these with the Wearable Wings mod by Ragnar1313. These flashy feathers come with some heavy responsibilities, though.
And I hope you don't mind, but I've got another favor to ask.
Preston and the Quincy survivors need help preaching some old-time revival for Sanctuary and the Minutemen, and we have to do the Good Samaritan thing before we can continue our search for Sean.
I'd be glad to help. Just tell me what you need.
Well, for starters, we could use some real beds.
So beds and water and crops and defenses later, we are able to move on and do Preston's thing. Todd, grant us patience.
I was glad to help.
Our selflessness is rewarded with a level up to 8. And for our perk we take Fortune Finder, for we do not know the will of Todd, but it's a safe bet that fulfilling it will require a lot of caps. Fortune Finder joins our other non-special perks that include Life Giver, Hacker, and Science. Continuing with our saintly duties, we find the settlers at Ten Pines Bluff, and we hear of their tribulations at the hands of a horde of untodly raiders from the Corvega assembly plant, so we pass on words of solace, quoting Romans 12:19, "Do not take revenge, my dear friends, but leave room for God's wrath, for it is written, 'It is mine to avenge. I will repay, says the Lord.'" I mean, let's face it, viewers, these settlers are friggin' useless, and it was always going to be our underleveled butts on the line enacting revenge on a factory full of psychopaths. But as 2 Corinthians 10:4 tells us, the weapons we fight with are not the weapons of the world. On the contrary, they have divine power to demolish strongholds. Sounds like permission to download an overpowered mod, so we'll be using Angel Sword by Pithonas. The Angel Sword is doing a stronghold demolishing 95 melee damage in our hands with an additional 15 fire damage and a chance to immolate our foes. For it is written, "But if you do wrong, be afraid, for rulers do not bear the sword for no reason. They are God's servants, agents of wrath to bring punishment on the wrongdoer." Romans 13:4. See? Overpowered weapons and ruthless slaughter are totally cool when you're a zealot. Cue the Gregorian chanting and let's cleave a righteous path to Corvega. And so it came to pass that we picked up our third Grognak comic, and this den of evil is cleansed. We make our way back to Ten Pines in the cover of darkness, and we are a servant of Todd, so what we're doing here is not at all creepy. Just wanted to be clear, not creepy.
Hey there.
It's not like they're altar boys or something. Not that it would matter if they were, it's just... Hold up. A pigeon has just arrived. Yes, I've received a gag order from the Vatican, and these settlers have been paid for their silence. What?
Yeah.
Oh my... Todd, we were helping. We didn't even do anything. Anyway, we were close enough to Sanctuary to return and be made General of the Minutemen because obviously we radiate values so wholesome that we should automatically be in charge of everything.
I knew you were the right person for the job.
Brother Preston agrees to journey with us all the way back down the tracks to Grey Garden, where we pretend not to notice the incredible chemistry we have with the robot nun in charge of the place. We almost lost our saintly composure when the mechanical abbess asked for our help and threatened to derail our search for Sean again. But then we realized that robots don't have souls, so their request shouldn't count, and we flew happily on to Cambridge. Well, not really flew. Turns out these wings are more for show. And since I can't lie, I won't tell you I wasn't disappointed. Anyway, moving on. We hear someone raising hell in the Cambridge PD, and we have a little Bible study before investigating. And that's when we find a gallant knight fighting to defend the weak from an unholy ghoul onslaught. That did not just happen. The good guys always win. The Vatican will pay you for your silence, and we will not speak of this again. Thank you. After we totally win that battle, hands down, with no mistakes, Dance introduces us to the Brotherhood of Steel, and as it turns out, this is the faction we've been looking for. Armored and named like the Arthurian knights who found the Holy Grail, the Brotherhood are a butt-kicking group of zealots who wage holy war 24/7 on any godless abomination that crosses their path.
All of this just works.
They hoard knowledge for themselves like the Catholic Church of the Holy Roman Empire and claim it is for everyone else's good because of human iniquity. We freaking love these guys.
And again, it just works.
You willing to lend the Brotherhood of Steel a hand?
Are you kidding? Self-righteous abuse of power? Finally someone who understands how to truly honor God Howard. Where do we sign? So it's off to ArcJet Systems with our new BOS BFF, and we couldn't be happier. Hold up, Dance. We definitely didn't almost die from a frag mine. We just need to carb up, bro. Whoa, Preston? I forgot you were here. We arrive at ArcJet, and the Paladin lays some of that big Dance energy on us before going inside.
Listen up. We do this clean and quiet. No heroics and by the book. Understood?
And that is where we find out about the Institute, a nefarious underworld layer of manipulators who replace Todd-fearing Commonwealth citizens with soulless androids. Say no more, Dance. They sound like the enemy to me.
I'll be on the lookout.
Roger that. Let's move out.
We put our game developer hacking skills to work, opening a door in the lab, and then we see the Institute's infernal creations firsthand. This place has been cleansed. Now we are back at Cambridge PD on purpose because we are an immaculate angel of Todd. We don't make mistakes, and so we lost the footage of our acceptance into the Brotherhood of Steel and Dance's gift of a unique laser rifle called Righteous Authority that will obviously become a signature weapon of this playthrough on purpose.
Nice work, sir.
Thank you, Reese. Remind me to show you some verses about forgiving your neighbor and loving your enemy. I get the impression you aren't familiar with those.
Got enough trouble stomping muties and ferals. I don't need something else to worry about.
Reese is a bit of a buzzkill, but Dance totally restores our faith by preaching to the choir about the power of obscure Latin credos. And just like that, once again, we're pumped about the Brotherhood, so we take on a couple assignments to prove ourselves to them.
Remember that.
Maybe you're not as worthless as I thought.
Well, Reese may be hard to impress, but all our holy heroics seemed to leave an impression on our eyes, which now have an angelic white cross in the irises, thanks to Anime Eyes by ChrispyNi. Dance is busy assigning us the Lost Patrol mission, but since he's not a defenseless settler, we don't have to drop what we're doing and chase another side quest squirrel. So instead, after a little workbench time turning Righteous Authority into a sniper rifle, we push south towards Diamond City, the great green jewel where we can hopefully find some word of Sean's kidnappers. Soon we're near the gates, and stop off to help the guards take out some godless super mutants. We were completely altruistic in our motivations, of course. Looting the corpses and gaining the XP were all done to glorify the Lord. But it seems we were rewarded for our selflessness when we found the merchant Cricket dealing weapons outside the Diamond City gate. Normally, a Thompson submachine gun is a poor survival mode weapon with its insatiable appetite for heavy .45 ammo. But with a name like Spray and Pray and an explosive legendary effect, we had to have it. Approaching the gate, we had a moment of worry. Can we even get in without lying?
You want into Diamond City, right? Shh.
Fortunately, the irrepressible Piper does all the lying for us, and the Diamond City gate opens up to allow us inside.
You have enough supplies to keep the general store stocked for a whole month?
After an awkward exchange between Piper and the mayor, where not that we indulge in vanity, but nobody mentions our cool eyes or huge white feathered wings, we go inside the vaunted Mecca to find our son.
Always been against the Minutemen. I never quite understood why.
Our first stop is the most crucial, Nick Valentine's office, where we find out in an ironic twist for the history books that the missing persons detective is missing. So we offer to find him free of charge.
Don't worry, I can help. Tell me what happened.
We are still congratulating ourselves on our unbroken WWJD streak when we stumble upon a tragic scene of fear and violence. We get a little lost in the moment, and it isn't until after the public execution that we question whether we should have interceded back there. But then we remember that what happened was all part of Todd's will, and nothing we do can change it. To try and make up for the oversight, we give the town drunk a Nuka Cola and a job.
Here you go.
Look at you, being nice to someone.
Thank you. Thank you.
We have wings and pastor's robes. Why are these idiots acting so surprised when we're nice? Jeez. And for good measure, we visit the Diamond City Chapel, where we are too kind to tell the pastor that he is definitely going to hell for diluting God Howard's message with a bunch of acceptance malarkey, and we have Preston do a few Hail Marys to cover our bases. Stopping by Piper's for an interview, she demonstrates that famous journalist insight by noticing something special about us.
'Cause you're a vault dweller? I know you're not wearing the blue jumpsuit right now, but the Pip-Boy and the fish out of water look, dead giveaways.
Wow, that's what she focuses on.
Anyway, I agreed to come with you, right? Watch your back.
Oh yeah, we feel so much better knowing you'll be putting those keen powers of observation to work watching our back. On our way out of Diamond City, we find a Deadeye hunting rifle on a legendary hound that should give us some godly time-slowing power. And now, brothers and sisters of the congregation, let us read James 4:2. You desire, but do not have, so you kill. You covet, but you cannot get what you want, so you quarrel and fight. You do not have, because you do not ask God. We should probably read those verses to the thieving, murdering Triggermen behind these doors and change their hearts, but instead, we're just going to wreck them.
Hey, Valentine.
You ready to talk?
Yes, we're ready to talk. We had just talked our way past some angry mobsters thanks to the convicting power of our Toddly wisdom. And back at Nick's office in Diamond City, we told him everything we could remember about that horrible day we lost our wife and son. Nick may not have a soul, but he has more ideas for helping us than anyone else so far, and they include getting inside the house of a man named Kellogg by charming the key off of the mayor's secretary, and our Christly charisma comes in clutch.
I'm just going to leave this key on my desk and forget I put it there.
Inside Kellogg's, we find a hidden room that would make a doomsday prepper proud, and we decide to call on the living embodiment of All Dogs Go to Heaven, Dog Meat, to track our son's kidnapper Kellogg across the Commonwealth.
Take me to him, boy. Take me to Sean.
If we weren't so incredibly selfless, it would feel good to finally be making progress toward finding Sean without some settler asking for help. Did you hear someone calling out for aid? Me neither. And so we hack and shoot. And hack and shoot our way across the Commonwealth until we arrive at the imposing Fort Hagen. Somewhere inside is our wife's brutal killer, our son's wicked kidnapper, and an enemy of heaven. Our angel wings and pastor's vestments don't grant any energy damage resistance, so we'll be relying on the righteousness of our cause to win the day in the fight to come. For it is written in Psalms 94:1, "The Lord is a God who avenges. O God who avenges, shine forth." Of course, even with Todd on our side, and our phenomenal gunplay, and all our perks, and hacking skills, and our sparkling personality, we are still going to need an edge in this fight. Hence, the Holy Nuka Grenade mod by Father Elijah, which blesses Nuka grenades with a holy cross to better vaporize your enemies, and we've been saving one up for just such an occasion.
The Commonwealth's up.
And there he is. Most resilient man in the Commonwealth. Funny. I thought I had that honor.
No matter where he is, nothing will stop me.
God, you're persistent. I give you credit. It's the way a father should act.
He talks tough, but we have the power of Todd on our side, and we face Kellogg in the sacred vestments of a holy man, remembering Psalms 144, "Praise be to the Lord, my rock, who trains my hands for war, my fingers for battle." Okay, new plan. Still armor of God, righteousness, all that, but also actual armor that we stripped off some synths on the way down here. As a bonus, the new plan is teaching us humility. It's a win-win, never mind what it looks like.
Where is Sean?
Oh my, Todd, we did it. Our humility is so incredible. It's just like in Micah 7:8. Do not gloat over me, my enemy, though I have fallen, I will rise. And we even humbly stayed back on the stairs, letting Preston and the holy Nuka grenade hog up most of the glory. Now let's just do a quick costume change before we strip Kellogg for parts and get out of here. Don't pretend you don't know what's coming. That's right. It's the Benefic Brethren, the Paladins of Piety, the Holy Templars of Hoarding Tech. They are loving their neighbors at the tip of their sabers, the boys who need no introduction, but they're going to blast one across the sky anyway.
We are the Brotherhood of Steel.
The cavalry have arrived and they've brought the big guns, but before we can check on that, we need to follow up on our showdown with Kellogg, a showdown that showed us just how woefully under-armored we are at this point in our quest. The solution? Kellogg charitably donated a nice outfit to us, and with the help of the duster from the Mojave Manhunter mod by Nero,
all of this just works.
Well, well, speak of the devil.
You're back.
we try not to lead others to think impure thoughts when they see us sporting our up-armored new look, but that is impossible, because they are only human and we look amazing. Talking over Kellogg's demise, Nick has the idea to consult Dr. Amari at the memory den in hopes of stripping some information from what is left of Kellogg's brain. Piper doesn't have much to contribute, probably because our new style has stripped the information from her brain and the ideas she is having are too lustful to be spoken aloud. And that's not vanity, facts are facts. We are irresistible.
He ain't kidding.
At the Memory Den in Good Neighbor, we meet Dr. Amari, preeminent neurological scientist and dopamine peddler, who agrees to try and get us access to Kellogg's remnant memories. We fold our wings into the memory pod and jack in to find out that Kellogg was once a lot like us, a decent man who lost his wife and child to ruthless mercenaries and wandered the Commonwealth as the most OP guy in the room. And while he didn't join the priesthood, he did live alone with a 10-year-old boy, which we all know is pretty close. The Vatican has reminded us that we aren't allowed to say that. But in other news, we also learn that an Institute scientist named Virgil is on the run and that finding him in the glowing sea is probably the best bet for finding a way into the Institute. The thing about the glowing sea in survival mode is, we won't. Not without power armor, and since our brethren of steel have suits of power aplenty, we head up to Cambridge PD to take a chance that Paladin Dance can hook us up. In short order, Dance has us boarding a vertibird and flying, for the first time in a playthrough where we have had literal wings on our back, to the Pride Wind, which fills Dance with pride when he sees it.
There she is. It's been far too long since I've been aboard.
Easy there, Dance. Pride and lust are two of the deadly sins, and we just heard both. What am I talking about? Dance knows you can't love a machine. After Captain Kells acts like we showed up dressed as a raider,
You don't look much like a soldier to me.
we hear a sermon by Elder Maxon that is full of that good old-fashioned holy war end times fire and brimstone that never, ever leads to anything bad.
Beneath the commonwealth, there is a cancer, known as the Institute. A malignant growth that needs to be cut before it infects the surface.
Maxon's speaking our language.
What do you want from me?
I want you to start taking responsibility for this planet. To start making a difference. And from what I've read in Paladin Dance's reports, you've already begun that journey.
Finally, somebody who recognizes how modest we are about our amazing accomplishments.
Therefore, from this moment forward, I'm granting you the rank of Knight. And, befitting your title, we're granting you a suit of power armor to protect you on the field of battle.
Hallelujah. But we have one little thing we have to do before we can take our power armor for a spin in the glowing sea. Jeremiah 51:20 says, "You are my war club, my weapon for battle. With you I shatter nations, with you I destroy kingdoms." Which is basically what Maxon says before he sends us to massacre a nest of super mutants at Fort Strong.
must hate these mutants as much as I do.
No one hates him as much as you do, Dance, but I'm flattered that you think so. Returning to Maxon, he congratulates us, stroking our ego like a choir boy strokes the... Relax, viewers, we were just screwing with the Vatican on that one. Anyway, Maxon tells us to find the location of the Institute, and he tells us where it came from.
Our records indicate that the Institute was born from the remnants of a pre-war educational facility, the Commonwealth Institute of Technology.
An education center? We should have known. There is only one book the people need, and the rest should be banned. The Brotherhood totally gets it. And as we are wondering how to tell Preston that he can have his flare gun back, he declares his full affinity for us and confesses that he was having suicidal ideations before he met us. And that really makes us think that we have been traveling with a weak sinner this whole time. But in our Toddly compassion, we let him down easy and pick up our manly new armor and our manly new companion who has never known a moment of human weakness for our righteous crusade into the glowing sea.
There shouldn't be a problem as long as the Minutemen don't get in my way.
We set out with Dance, and it doesn't take long for the devil to try and block our path. We take commando at level 23 to help our damage with righteous authority and spray and pray, and then we press on. Eventually, we discover a crater full of pilgrims on some kind of delusional religious quest. The will of Adam. That doesn't even make any sense. What a bunch of nut jobs. The misguided wackos do point us in the right direction, though, and after taking down a deathclaw with spray and pray, which we were doing a lot of, we find Virgil.
Hold it. Take it nice and slow. No sudden moves.
We try not to judge people on their disgusting appearances, even scientists. So we spend the rest of the conversation getting Virgil to trust us enough to tell us how to get into the Institute. He does have one caveat, though. He makes us promise to bring back his serum, and since we have to keep our promises, I guess we're helping this big green jerk. He tells us to kill one of the Institute's most elite agents, a courser, and take its chip. With our mission clear, we signal a Brotherhood vertibird for a ride back to the Commonwealth. Todd smiles on us, and we soon find a courser signal at Green Tech Genetics, with an army of gunners inside.
Are you here for the synth?
I need what's in your head.
That you cannot have.
We open up the courser and find a chip in its head. Then we let the woman synth go. Maybe it was just the shock of it all. People with computers in their brains, people who weren't even people. Dance doesn't like it, but we need a minute to adjust. For the first time, it's a question. Has this place been cleansed? A return to Dr. Amari reveals that she can't help. Scientist, what do you expect? But she thinks the secretive railroad can. Tracking down the railroad isn't too hard. They left a red stripe through Boston all the way to their front door, which is a church. Encouraging. We hit the ferals inside so hard with the angel sword that they bounce back onto their feet. This place has been cleansed. Todd, it feels good to say that. The Holy Ghost whispers the answer to the puzzle gate in our hearts. Or it is just super easy. And we enter to find a welcoming committee that would have made the Inquisition proud.
Stop right there. You went through a lot of effort to arrange this meeting. But before we go any further, Answer my questions. Who the hell are you?
Who the hell, Desdemona? Boy, you were way off with that one. And this is how we meet the Railroad, a prickly bunch of conspiracy theorists whose craziest idea is that man-made computer people matter the same way real people who were made by God literally breathing life into dust do. Some folks will believe anything. Our wings don't seem to get us any trust here, but our courser killer Halo does when Deacon, who never does tell us which church he's a deacon of, vouches for us because he sees everything. Which, admittedly, God also does, but trust me, it's a little sketchier when Deacon says it. Long story short, their programming skills are better than ours, so we outsource with them for this project and get the courser chip decoded to finally find our son, Sean. Getting back to Virgil is a lot easier via Vertibird, but we find out that the real work is just starting. Todd, give us patience. We have more fetch questing to do.
Suppose I shouldn't be surprised.
Howard knows we aren't going to the Railroad for help, and a reunion with Preston just sounds awkward, so we turn to the big man in the sky for guidance. And Maxon is willing to commit the Brotherhood to this project the way he commits them to every project.
Without a hint of purpose or direction. And most impressively, without question.
We are sent to talk to Proctor Ingram about putting together the signal interceptor to get ourselves into the Institute. Doing this requires scouring the Commonwealth for some very specific components, and since Dance's affinity can only be raised so far for now, we pick up Piper as a companion in Diamond City and prepare to stave off her immodest advances.
Anything I can do? You just say the word.
It's not her fault that she's obsessed. Humble, mysterious, stylish people like us are just very attractive. While in Diamond City, we make the mistake of talking to Vadim Bobrov, who ropes us into a scheme to build Travis the Diamond City DJ's confidence level.
Oh, here we go.
There's a bar fight, Travis gets laid, one thing leads to another, and we're standing over the cooling corpses of a dozen raiders in the Beantown Brewery.
It all just happened so fast.
The good part is we leveled up to 27, and we take the third commando perk because we are relying almost exclusively on Righteous Authority and Spray and Pray as our ranged weapons. After we checked what must have been every vendor in the Commonwealth for parts, eventually Myrna, a woman with reasonable reservations about our humanity, sold us the sensor module that we were missing, and now the prophesied moment is upon us! We will finally save Sean. But Elder Maxon has a few quid pro quos before we go.
Now, I want you to listen very carefully.
And who could say no to that sweet little puddin' head when his face is so serious?
It's imperative you remember everything I'm about to tell you.
Blah blah network scanner, blah 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 Dr. Lee. Got it. Uh-oh. Am I dead? Am I in heaven? No, it's too soon. I never learned to play the piano. Oh, that was close. I almost lost my cool there. But the Institute is in for a surprise, and it's like Mark 13:32 says, but about that day or hour no one knows, not even the angels in heaven, nor the Son, but only the Father.
Hello.
What the? Who the hell was that?
I'm known as Father.
Wow, our whole revenge moment has just been totally punked. But they won't ruin this for us. We are the right hand of God, and as Psalms 144 says, they are like a breath. Their days are like a fleeting shadow. Part your heavens, Lord, and come down. Touch the mountains so that they smoke. Send forth lightning and scatter the enemy. Shoot your arrows and rout them. Why do I even try? This father character thinks he's so funny, watching us with his cameras, making us wait in his elevator. Well, we're out of the elevator now, Pops, and we will draw our fiery angel sword of holy justice and obliterate this place like sci-fi Sodom. Wait, hold up. Is that another... Todd, damn it. But then we see him, our little boy Sean, alive and well. Todd be praised. We'd ride 100 elevators if it meant we could see him again for just one more.
Father, help me!
What the hell is this?
Sean. S923, recall code Cirrus.
Oh, this is some bullshit. Okay, so we've been talking with this father guy, and he has laid a doozy on us.
It's me. I am Sean. I am your son.
He's a total geezer, and it's hard to believe. But it's also hard to deny because, well, he's got his mom's eyes.
Yes. It's true.
Well, kill the fatted calf, for the prodigal son has returned. Todd has a funny sense of humor, doesn't he? Our son is the beloved white-bearded ruler of a powerful realm with an army of tireless servants to carry out his will. But not like Santa Claus. Like the other white-bearded ruler of a powerful realm with tireless servants who calls himself Father. Oh, the irony. It really makes you think that just anybody can play God these days. I'm over this place. Where's Madison Lee?
You're obviously here for a reason, and you've already spoiled my experiment, so you might as well spit it out.
Let's be honest. We are off to a rocky start here. All we know is that we need to get this egghead to return to the Brotherhood for some big project of Maxon's, but our obvious charm and good looks seem to be getting us nowhere with her. Fortunately, she has a bone to pick with Father about the way that big, recently green jerk Virgil was treated. She won't take our word for it that he's alive despite our conspicuous white-feathered credentials, and we agreed to provide her proof that his disappearance wasn't above board. Returning to Sean, he has something to show us.
I think you'll agree that we know what is best for our synths. A rogue synth has taken over the Raider gang at Libertalia. Under his leadership, the Raiders have taken many innocent lives.
Innocent lives, you say? Well, that's kind of like settlers asking for help, and we have all this pent-up revenge to unleash, so, okay, we'll bite.
Plunder from honest, hard-working Commonwealth gangs.
We aren't here for your plunder, Gabriel. We aren't here for your soul that you don't have either. In fact, why are we here?
Sorry, sir, but I have my orders.
Die.
Sean wanted us to see that the Institute needs to retain the synths as their property, but we don't care about the Institute's property. And we're still mad about that decoy Sean switcheroo. Jesus did say to turn the other cheek. So when Sean tells us about the Bunker Hill assault on the railroad's runaway synths there, we turn the other cheek toward the Brotherhood and tell them all about it.
And you've done the right thing by reporting this to me directly. Well done, soldier. Exterminate the synths at Bunker Hill, and whomever the Institute sends to retrieve.
Finally, someone is talking sense. All this is complicated, gray area philosophizing is hurting my head. It's a relief to hear that I should just go in and blast the godless abominations in the name of a merciful Todd.
And again, it just works.
Our targets are inside. 4 synths under railroad protection.
That's all you had to say. Let's go! This place has been cleansed. Oh, that feels so good. You know, it almost hurts to hold it in. After all the senseless violence of Bunker Hill, returning here to Sean, the son we've sought so passionately, the son who has been hoping against hope to be reunited with us too, it really makes us have to reflect on our choices. And it must be said, we thought the eyes were cool, but we can see clearly now that they are just creepy. Sean covers for our defeat at Bunker Hill, but our chance to get Madison Lee back to the Brotherhood may be limited. There's a reason why we waited. Proverbs 21:5 says, "The plans of the diligent lead to profit as surely as haste leads to poverty." And so we diligently leveled until we had a high enough hacker perk to get into the FEV lab through the back door. Rome wasn't built in a day, and maybe Fallout 5 will never be a thing no matter how much Todd levels up, but our waiting did pay off, and now we simply stroll in and pick up Virgil's serum and Lee's proof. We look for Lee in her office, but we only find the synth boy there, and we end up having an awkward exchange with him all alone, something that the Vatican recently warned us not to do because of all the lawsuits. Moving on, we find Lee in a director's meeting that we were also supposed to be at. Embarrassing. And at the meeting, Sean, a big fan of dramatic reveals, says he's dying from incurable cancer and that he's putting us in charge of the Institute.
Oh, boy.
You said it, Holdren. The Father, the Sean, and the Holy Science. What kind of twisted trinity is that? We gotta get out of here. The obvious question now is, why don't we use the miraculous healing powers of our faith to cure Sean? But when it comes to saving Sean, it's just not the will of Todd, and we must make our peace with that. Which is hard because of the whole losing him all over again thing, but then again, Sean is kind of a weirdo. So we find Dr. Lee and deliver Virgil's holotape, and the truth shall set you free.
They lied to me.
She's so mad at Sean for lying that she agrees to return to the Brotherhood. And she is not the only one. We return to Maxon with intel about Phase 3, and the Brotherhood wastes no time in sending us to Mass Fusion to stop the Institute from claiming the beryllium agitator for their plans. Boarding the vertibird for this mission will now make us enemies with the Institute. But the truth is, we were enemies with those technocrats playing God the day they took Sean. As part of the Brotherhood, we have chosen to save the world from the evils of technology by having all of it ourselves, and using it against anyone who tries to endanger mankind with it, because if there's one thing we can't stand, it's hypocrisy. With righteous authority on our hip and righteous violence in our hearts, we set out to save the world.
one piece.
Upon returning to the airport, we find that the Brotherhood has a trick up their sleeves in the form of a pre-war mechanical Nephilim slumbering since its last fight, but ready to be awakened once again, thanks to the provenance of the beryllium agitator and Dr. Madison Lee. If we weren't so unbelievably modest, we'd say that the Brotherhood had only gotten this far because of us. And to get any further, it seemed they needed more help. We use our Todd-given abilities to craft some actuators to get Liberty Prime moving, only to learn that the Brotherhood doesn't have any ordnance for the newly actuated Ark of the Covenant. So it is that we find ourselves heading into the glowing sea once more. To be fair, the Brotherhood is very supportive, with waypoints, transponders, and vertibird smoke grenades to help us in our mission.
You've come a long way since you stumbled into the Cambridge police station.
Even so, this is no church charity cakewalk. When we get far enough into the facility to find some living children of Adam, we try the talk-it-through route, like Jesus did with the Pharisee.
You walk on Atom's hallowed ground.
And since we can't lie, we'll have to tread lightly.
I'm looking for some bombs. Nuclear bombs.
You trivialize that which resides here.
Look, the bombs will get used, okay? Isn't that what you want?
Perhaps then I have misjudged you.
Whew, we definitely skirted the truth, these kooks and their zany beliefs in some all-powerful divine being that created humans just so that when they die they become part of his plan for eternity. Okay, so when we say it out loud it sounds a little familiar, but they call their god Adam. What a bunch of crazies. We leave the transponder in the Sentinel site and call a chopper ride home. Looking at the assembled Liberty Prime, we are brought in mind of Job 40:15. Behold Behemoth. His bones are tubes of bronze, his limbs like bars of iron. He is the first of the works of Todd, or, something like that.
Liberty Prime, back online.
Is there anything you wish?
Prime isn't quite ready to start up, though, and we're summoned to Maxon. Maxon comes at us like it's Salem with the questions about whether we knew Dance was a synth, but honesty prevails. We really didn't know. Then, we are ordered to do the unthinkable. To kill our mentor, our guide, our brother, for the sake of the institution he introduced us to. This presents a moral conundrum that we just don't think we could ever get over. Just kidding.
Victorium, brother.
The righteous army of Todd is no place for a two-faced machine, and we might as well just carry that same message to those circuit-hugging heretics at the railroad while we're at it. This place has been... What? You knew this was coming. Cleansed!
Congratulations on another successful mission, Paladin.
Kells seems pleased, but for some reason, slaughtering all those people who had never heard us seemed... I don't know. But orders are orders, and the will of Todd must be served. Still, we decided to go save Paladin Brandis from a life in exile and convinced him to return to the fold. That felt all warm and fuzzy. So all's well that ends well. And if you're wondering about the Brotherhood's specific model of power armor behind Brandis, that comes to us courtesy of the Brotherhood Armor Collection mod by Tumbajamba and Shreddah 4. The power armor isn't what we need this mod for, though. Instead, it is the styling Brotherhood robes that we'll be sporting in the final battle with our evil son Sean and his Institute of Animatronics. If only we'd been able to take him to Chuck E. Cheese as a kid. Maybe he would have gotten this all out of his system and none of this would have happened. But this is happening, so proclaim this among the nations, prepare for war, rouse the warriors, let all the fighting men draw near and attack. Joel 3:9. To arrive here with anger and violence and see our son already dying in his bed, it really makes us think that this whole attack was a big waste of resources.
You had your chance to help me, and cast me aside instead.
Proverbs 3:11. My son, do not despise the Lord's discipline, and do not resent his rebuke. By which we mean you earned this, you robo-cloning weirdo. Now give us your password so fewer people get hurt.
Under what righteous pretense have you justified this atrocity?
Kidnapping, murder, manipulation, callous indifference, crimes against nature, cyber slavery. Pick a flavor and eat what's coming to you.
Very well.
This place to its fate. Dr. Ingram has assured me that we'll be outside the blast radius. Press that button, and you not only defeat our enemy, you restore order and decency to the Commonwealth. It's time, Paladin. The Institute and their synth abominations must be eradicated.
We're not just trading one monster for another, are we?
This place has been cleansed. And with that, we've beaten Fallout 4 Survival as an Angel of Todd. The question is, did we change anything for the better? Well, we did keep our promise to Virgil, and that changed him for the better.
Got it right here.
That's it. That's really it.
We saved Paladin Brandis, and that changed his hygiene for the better.
Thank you for giving me another chance.
Reese is less of a jerk now.
I was clearly wrong. Therefore, I felt I owed you an apology.
And for our final miracle, we persuaded Mama Murphy to stop using chems.
The site isn't worth killing yourself over, Mama Murphy.
All right, kid. You got me. If me hanging around for a little longer is worth that much to you, then I'll go clean.
We're the hero with Todd on our side, so those things outweigh everything else, right?
All of this just works.
Well, there you have it. Please leave a like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe for more content if you haven't already, and consider supporting the channel by becoming a member. Later, Raiders. See you in the next one.